Welcome to my YouTube channel Vintage US Coins. Today we are taking a deep and detailed journey into the history, design, background, symbolism, production, and collector value of the Monticello 5-cent coin from the year 1976. At first glance, this may appear to be a simple and ordinary nickel. It is small, it is common, it is often overlooked. But when we study it carefully, we discover that it represents American independence, architectural heritage, political philosophy, economic transition, and the spirit of the bicentennial era. The 1976 Jefferson Nickel was struck during one of the most patriotic years in United States history. That year marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Across the country, Americans celebrated the bicentennial with pride. There were parades, historical exhibitions, special ceremonies, and national reflection, while the quarters, half dollar, and dollar coins received special bicentennial reverse designs. The nickel continued with its traditional Monticello design. However, that does not reduce its importance. In fact, its stability during a year of celebration reflects the lasting strength of American traditions. To fully understand the 1976 Monticello nickel, we must first go back to the beginning of the Jefferson Nickel series. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938. It replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The United States Mint held a public competition to choose a new design. The winning design was created by Felix Schlag. Felix Schlag was a German-born sculptor who immigrated to the United States. His design featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design has remained in use, with modifications, for decades. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States. He was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. He served as governor of Virginia, minister to France, secretary of state, vice president, and president. He was also an architect, inventor, and philosopher. Jefferson believed strongly in liberty, individual rights, education, and limited government. His influence shaped the early identity of the United States. Now let us examine the obverse of the 1976 nickel in detail. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. The portrait is calm, thoughtful, and dignified. Jefferson's hair is tied back in a queue, reflecting the fashion of the 18th century. The details of his profile vary depending on strike quality and condition. Above the portrait appears the word liberty. Next to it is the date 1976. The national motto "In God We Trust" is positioned along the left side of the coin. These inscriptions represent core American values. Liberty represents freedom. In God We Trust reflects cultural heritage and national faith traditions. The date connects the coin to the bicentennial year. Now let us turn to the reverse side of the coin. The reverse features Monticello. Monticello was Jefferson's plantation home located near Charlottesville, Virginia. Jefferson personally designed the house. He was inspired by classical Roman architecture and European design principles. The image of Monticello on the nickel shows its dome, columns, and symmetrical structure. The word Monticello appears above the building. Below it is the denomination 5 cents. Around the edge are the words United States of America and E pluribus unum. E pluribus unum means out of many one. This phrase represents the union of individual states into one nation. Monticello symbolizes knowledge, architectural creativity, and Enlightenment ideals. Jefferson believed in reason, science, and education. His home reflects those intellectual influences. Now let us discuss the composition of the 1976 nickel. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives the coin a silver-gray appearance. The edge of the coin is smooth. It does not have reeds like a quarter or dime. The diameter of the coin is 21.2 millimeters. It weighs 5 grams. These specifications have remained consistent for many decades. In 1976, Jefferson nickels were struck at three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins from this year do not carry a mint mark. Denver coins display a small D mint mark on the obverse next to the date. San Francisco produced proof coins marked with an S mint mark. Proof coins were made specifically for collectors. They were struck using polished dies and specially prepared planchets. This results in mirror-like surfaces and sharp detail. The mintage numbers for 1976 nickels were very high. Hundreds of millions were produced for circulation. Because of this, circulated examples are very common today. Most circulated 1976 nickels are worth face value. However, condition makes a difference. Collectors evaluate Jefferson nickels based on strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and detail. One important factor for collectors is the full steps designation. Full steps refers to the steps visible at the base of Monticello. If the steps are clearly defined and uninterrupted, the coin may qualify for a full steps designation in high grades. Full steps coins are more difficult to find and can command higher premiums. The bicentennial year adds historical interest to the 1976 nickel. Even though the design did not change, the coin was part of everyday commerce during the 200th anniversary celebration of American independence. In 1976, Americans reflected on 2 centuries of national growth. The country had expanded westward. It had survived civil war. It had experienced industrial revolution. It had become a global power. The nickel from that year passed through countless hands during this time of celebration. It was used in stores, vending machines, public transportation, and daily transactions. Each coin carries silent witness to that patriotic year. Coin collecting during the 1970s was becoming more popular. The bicentennial sparked renewed interest in American history and currency. Many families began saving coins from 1976 as souvenirs. For beginner collectors today, the 1976 nickel is easy to obtain. It can often be found in circulation or purchased at low cost. For advanced collectors, high-grade mint-state examples with strong luster and full steps detail are more desirable. Proof versions from San Francisco also attract attention, especially in deep cameo condition. When collecting this coin, it is important not to clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce value. Natural toning and original surfaces are preferred. Proper storage is essential. Use coin holders or albums. Keep coins away from moisture and extreme temperature changes. The Jefferson Nickel series has remained one of the longest continuous designs in American coinage. Although modifications have occurred over the years, the connection to Jefferson and Monticello remains central. The 1976 Monticello nickel represents continuity during celebration. It shows that even in a year of special commemorative designs, some traditions remain steady. When you hold this coin, you are holding a piece of American philosophy. You are holding a tribute to Thomas Jefferson. You are holding a coin that circulated during the bicentennial celebration. Coins are more than currency. They are educational tools. They are historical artifacts. They are artistic creations. The Monticello nickel reflects architecture, politics, independence, and economic practicality. Over time, interest in vintage U.S. coins continues to grow. Collectors are rediscovering coins from the 1970s. They realize that history is not only found in ancient silver and gold. It is also found in everyday pocket change. The 1976 Monticello nickel stands as a reminder of America's 200-year journey. It connects the revolutionary spirit of 1776 with the modern nation of 1976. At Vintage U.S. Coins, we believe every coin has a story. Some stories are dramatic and rare. Others are quiet and common. But all of them are meaningful. If you enjoyed this deep exploration of the 1976 Monticello 5-cent coin, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to Vintage U.S. Coins for more historical coin content. And share in the comments whether you have a 1976 nickel in your collection. Thank you for watching.